the long history of the American justice system, countless strange cases have passed through its courtrooms, cases filled with bizarre arguments, unbelievable claims, and wild legal twists. But none, absolutely none, compare to the story you're about to hear. A story about a man sitting alone in a prison cell, a man who believed he had been wronged, a man who believed someone had violated his basic civil rights, and that man decided to fight back. The only unusual thing was this: the person he wanted to sue was himself. This is the unbelievable true story of Robert Lee Brock, a man who filed a $5 million lawsuit against Robert Lee Brock.
Our story begins with Brock sitting in a prison cell in Virginia. He was serving time for crimes committed years earlier, crimes that he openly admitted were caused by his own bad decisions, specifically a night of drunken behavior that spiraled out of control. But Brock wasn't like most inmates. He didn't spend his days staring at the walls. He spent them reading. He devoured legal books, case after case, searching for ways the system worked and ways it failed. Other inmates joked that Brock was training to become a lawyer. Some said he'd written more motions than actual lawyers on the outside. Deep down, Brock believed the law was his only power left. With nothing but a pen, paper, and access to the prison library, he felt like he could still fight back against the world. One night, as he sat at his small metal desk, he replayed his life in his head. He thought about the chain of decisions that brought him to prison, the drinking, the choices, the moments he couldn't take back. He wrote in his journal, "If I hadn't gotten drunk, this never would have happened. I violated my own rights." As soon as he wrote those words, he froze. "I violated my own rights." The sentence stared back at him. It was strange, but something about it felt powerful. In the law books he read, one concept came up again and again. When someone violates your civil rights, you have the right to sue them for damages. But what if the violator and the victim were the same person? Most people would have laughed the thought away. But Brock wasn't most people. He grabbed a fresh piece of paper and started writing. What began as a joke in the minds of others was, to him, a perfectly logical argument. Slowly, carefully, he drafted a lawsuit. He wrote, "I, Robert Lee Brock, file a claim for $5 million against myself." He argued that by drinking excessively, he had put himself in danger, ruined his future, and ultimately caused his own incarceration. He claimed emotional suffering, mental distress, financial loss, and long-term damage to his life. And therefore, he concluded, he owed himself compensation. But then he reached the most important part, the part the entire lawsuit depended on. He wrote, "Because I cannot pay myself $5 million while incarcerated, I request that the state of Virginia pay it on my behalf." It was bizarre. It was unbelievable. But on a technical level, it wasn't entirely impossible. The law had seen many strange things. Why not this? Brock sealed the letter and handed it to the prison mailroom. The clerk opened it, read it, and burst out laughing. "How do you even process this?" he said. But rules were rules. They had to send it. Days later, the letter reached the courthouse. A legal assistant opened the envelope and nearly dropped it. She read the first paragraph again, just to make sure she wasn't hallucinating. Then she walked the document straight to the judge's office. Judge Rebecca Smith was known for being strict, serious, and sharp-minded. But even she stared at the letter in silence. She read it once, twice, a third time. "Is this a joke?" she finally asked. "No, Your Honor," her assistant replied. "It appears to be serious." And so, by legal obligation, the court had to schedule a hearing. The case was officially listed as Robert Lee Brock versus Robert Lee Brock. On the morning of the hearing, Brock was escorted into the courtroom wearing his orange prison jumpsuit, hands cuffed, chin lifted with confidence. He believed, truly believed, that his argument made sense. The courtroom filled quickly. Reporters whispered to one another. Law students packed the benches, eager to witness something they'd only read about in legal oddities books. The judge looked at Brock calmly and said, "Mr. Brock, you are both the plaintiff and the defendant. Is that correct?" Brock nodded. "Yes, Your Honor." "And you are suing yourself for $5 million? "Yes, Your Honor." "And you expect the state to pay this judgment, should you win?" "That's correct, Your Honor."